Welcome to the Father's Coach Podcast. My name is Kevin Kelley. I am the host. We're being sponsored by Life by Design coaching firm. Why are we here today? We are here today to reform the image of fatherhood in our culture. How do we do that? How do we obtain that? We obtain the reformation by encouraging and engaging men and fathers into this leadership quality of fatherhood. So fathers, being a father is a leadership quality. So I'm here right now. I'm very excited about this guest. I'm a little nervous right now because my guest is a troubleshooter up and down the East Coast, and I'm excited. Let's give him a hand. Welcome back to the Father's Coach Podcast. I have my co-host today. My co-host, this guy I'm interviewing here, D. Reed.
What's up, man? What's
Top
going
Shelf?
on? Top Shelf D. Reed.
Oh my God.
You know, somebody gave me that name, man, just recently, man. A friend of mine. Just recently, everybody call me D. Reed, but for the most part, I just ran into a friend of mine, old school boy, OG. You know, we call him OG. He said, Top Shelf. I'm going to call you Top Shelf. I said, why you want to call me Top Shelf? You want to know what he said? He said, because people got to reach for you.
Ooh.
I said, he said, people got to reach for you. You can be on that. They've got to reach for you, man. Don't just be easy accessible. That's what he said.
Changing the image.
Yes.
Changing the narrative.
There it is.
Reforming the image.
Reforming the image.
Top Shelf.
Top Shelf.
Wow.
That's right.
Is it possible that I can I want to share a statistic.
Okay.
No, before I do that,
Go ahead.
I want to do your bio.
Okay.
Because I want my listeners to know what you're talking about.
Okay.
They want to know you. They want to see you.
That's right.
A lot of my listeners probably haven't met you before.
Okay.
But they meet you now.
What's up, everybody? What's going on, man? We here with Kevin Kelley.
We have here author,
Oh.
entrepreneur, speaker, coach, but a serial entrepreneur.
Oh, I like that one.
He was born and raised in Wilmington, Delaware, in the heart of the Riverside Projects.
That's right.
He's a motivational speaker, author of the Mindset Go.
Come on now.
A quick read on knowing who you are and changing your mindset.
Ooh.
Multiple business owner, known as a serial entrepreneur.
I love that word.
D. Reed started out as a professional barber instructor, which he retired after 30 years plus. 30 years.
Hallelujah.
And continues to his own, the His Image Barber Lounge. His Image, we're going to talk about that.
Okay.
As a way to keep a good business in his community, to serve the community, serving the community, serving humanity.
That's right. That's right.
I love that. D. Reed is also the CEO of Trust Renovations.
Woo.
Easy Transit,
Woo.
and part owner of Mean Body Fitness Training Facility.
Well, you know, health as well.
He's also a two-time award-winning playwright. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Writing many comedy plays, adult dramas. In 2023, last year, Derrick started the His Image Foundation in Gambia over in Africa.
Yes.
Gambia.
In Gambia. Yes, right.
wanna
Going
go.
on right now.
I want to go.
Yes.
Which feed children and supplies them with the necessities and school supplies.
Yeah.
He continues to uplift, elevate, inspire people to not just believe you can make it, but to know you can make it, which is the beginning of knowledge.
Cool.
Let's go. He's in the game.
I like that dude.
He's in the game.
That's a lot of stuff.
He's in the game.
That's a lot of work.
He's
Hey,
in the game.
Cam.
He's in the game. That's what we're telling people, even in this podcast, to get in the game.
Yes.
We want everybody to get in the game.
Yes.
You know, we always talk about this in the fourth quarter, like the fourth quarter of not the game, but the fourth quarter of the year.
Yes.
We tell people to come on, get in the game. You know, it's not December 31st yet, right?
Wow.
But just reading your bio to my listeners, to the world, to society, to the global community,
Thank
we
you.
want them to get into the game.
Get into the game.
Because you're in the game.
I appreciate that.
You're in the game.
Man, thank you
wanna-
so much.
I want to read a statistic here.
Cool.
Statistic here. You said you was from Wilmington, right?
Yes.
From Wilmington.
Right.
I'm going to talk about 3 cities. Can I share this with my listeners here? Okay. There's 3 U.S. cities with the highest numbers of children in father-absent homes. The first city, number 1, Wilmington, D.E.
Wow.
Wilmington, Delaware, 63.5%.
Wow.
Runner-up, Detroit, Michigan, 63.3%. Now, I got some friends I was overseas with when I was in the military. They're in Detroit, in the Flint area, but they're good fathers. So they ain't in this.
Right.
They ain't in this one.
Right.
I'm pretty sure you got some friends out there in Detroit as well.
You know, it's funny. My mom was born in Detroit and ended up moving to Greensboro, North Carolina. So she got a lot of stories. I heard a lot of Smokey Robinson, and I heard a lot of Detroit stories, Donna Ross stories. But we'll talk about that too. I might.
And they singing. And they singers too, right?
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah. Great singers.
Now the third city is Birmingham, Alabama.
Birmingham. Okay.
Third, Birmingham, Alabama is 61.5%.
Wow.
Highest numbers of children in father absent homes. Father absent homes.
Wow.
Father absent homes.
Wow.
That's sad.
Yeah.
Tell me about that.
Wow.
The Wilmington part. Tell me about that.
Growing up in Wilmington. It's funny. You know, when you mention all the things, the stuff that I've done in my life, and all the hats, many hats that I wear, people always ask me, "What's the top hat? You know, what's your favorite hat?" It's not even on that list per se, but it's being a father. Out of all the hats I wear, that has to be number one. Is to be a father to my 3 daughters and my son. And this amazing journey. Now they're all grown now. We're sure we can get into that too. Youngest 24 up to the oldest is 33. Keep 33. I got
You look young.
Yeah, I'm trying. You know what I mean? 50 at the new 20. I didn't went past all the other decades, but anyway. I know. But fatherhood is very important. It was something I felt, that I needed, as a child. My dad and my mom actually was married up until I probably was 5 or 6. Okay. For whatever reason, things don't always go according to plan, and they end up getting a divorce. But I watched us de-escalate, like go down the scale. You know what I mean? Not going up the scale. We were
financially,
where we lived at. Once my dad left the house, and I can remember being there at 5 and 6, and he had a construction company. And I remember him, moving out, or things just changed. It's like a change happens if you ever had your father in your life, or growing up and you see him coming home from work. Because I remember the green boots he used to wear with the tan, and he used to be dirty because he did concrete. You know what I mean? I remember Dad, and when Dad hit the door, we run into the door. You know what I mean? But then I remember them arguing sometime in the house, and then all of a sudden Dad disappeared. You know what I mean? Okay. And I just watched this change. We was like the reverse Jeffersons. The song "We'll be moving on up." No, we was moving down. Well, moving on down. So we moved on down, and we end up over emergency housing at one time, and then we end up moving to what you said, Riverside Projects. Okay. My mom was a single mother, and she did the best she could. That's 9 of us.
Was your father still in your life?
You know what? He ended up getting, the short answer was growing up, no. But he started coming back around my teenage years, 14, 15 years old, where we rekindled. Now, I will say this. My dad was always a good dude. My mom just didn't work out. You know what I mean? Right, and I used to say, well, you left Mom. You didn't have to leave us. You know what I mean? So I did feel that. But, and he passed away in 2014. Sorry 2014. But up until that time, you're talking about 15, 16, on up to grown, that was my guy.
So between ages of 5 and 14,
or 15 maybe.
15. Did you have any male images? Positive male images?
That's a great question, Kev. The thing I always say, I had positive. I had influences and role models on what not to do. Okay. I grew up in the projects, and I'm saying there's nothing positive in the projects that you can look. I mean, we went on a basketball court, played sports. We seen sports figures.
How about the elevators?
Well, they had elevators at the time. In Delaware,
How does it smell in the elevators?
Oh, well, it's one of them things where it's a little pissy on it. We keep wondering, So, it was, we had the cellars, you know what I mean? And crazy how I knew about it, because we always play like our little games, hide and go seek and all that stuff. But yeah, it's like, it was different, growing up, in that area, and then not having the father there, you noticed it. Right. You noticed the difference.
So what about, did you have any surrogate dads?
Surrogate, yes, I had a stepfather. And he just passed recently, Thomas Williams. Shout out to Thomas Williams and the family. Yes. He stepped up. You know what I mean? When my dad stepped out, he stepped in. He was in the game. And I talk about him. It's funny in the book. I talk about him because he had. It's a funny story. We couldn't afford haircuts before I became a professional barber at the time. He straightened combed my hair one time. Straightened combed it, put the part in there and combed it. Yeah, I had the Sammy Davis Jr. special. I had the checker pants on. It was a
Sweetest Snits.
The worst, huh?
Sweetest Snits.
It was, oh my God.
You had a thing on the side?
I don't know about that. No, it didn't have that. It was a checker. It looked like a picnic table, but it was a small checkers. Mm-hmm. And he actually combed my hair with a straightening comb and parted it, But
you went to school like that?
I went to school like that. It's the first time I heard teachers laugh at it. No, I didn't grow up with my mom did.
You would look good in Detroit.
Oh, I probably would fit right in Detroit. You know what I mean?
Waves and all that. Yeah.
Oh, with the suits and stuff, the colorful suits. Did they do that?
Yeah.
Did you do that?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
I'm from North Jersey.
Okay, you know North Jersey, but you knew about that.
Yeah.
Zoot suits and all that. Oh my God, I knew about that too.
Oh Lord.
Church went through that too. We'll talk about that, I guess. But anyway, yeah, I did have role models on what not to do. I knew I didn't want to be locked up. I knew I didn't want to be on the corner, and I seen a lot of that growing up. My stepfather, he was a good dude. You know what I mean? Did the best he can with my mom, and tried to raise us. And he really motivated me though. He always made me feel like I can be something. Like there's something I do.
What was his role? Not in the home. It's his job, his career.
What did he do? He worked more so odd jobs and stuff like that. He used to work for a moving company. You know, you see the guys that work for the moving company, and the guy just pull up in the station wagon, pick everybody up, and then that's what that happened in Jersey. Yeah. And he's like, "Yo, Hopkins outside." You know, it was like Calvin Hopkins or something. Hopkins out there, Hopkins movers. Oh, so it was like.
So you saw a working man.
I saw a working man.
See,
I never seen him not
that's
be
the
lazy.
balance. That's
I
the
never
balance.
seen him
So that was the image.
Yes.
See, I'm getting the image.
And he can cook really good. So I can cook real good because I watched him cook. Yeah. Fatherhood. Yeah. Yes. Fatherhood.
Wow.
Yeah.
Here's another fatherhood fact.
Sure.
Children raised in a father absent are 2 times likely to suffer from obesity.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Obesity.
Wow. That's interesting.
That's crazy to me.
That's powerful, actually. Because, you know, in America, one of the biggest things is health and obesity and all that stuff. That's a big epidemic in America. You know, our food, the food, we like our food taste good, look good, smell good. You know, we don't eat just for energy and, for health.
we don't eat to live. We don't eat to live, right?
Yeah,
we live to eat.
We live to eat.
Now, Miles Monroe said this thing about fathers. He said fathers was the most important component in the family.
Wow.
Do you agree?
I agree.
You agree?
I agree. I think the father is kind of more so like the first leader. You know what I mean? He's the provider. He's a man. You know what I mean?
Man?
And, yeah.
Man?
A man. Yep.
A father's a man?
Yes, a father's a man.
Father's a man. Okay.
He's a man.
I'm with you.
Oh, he's a man. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. And you know what? And the father's loves a little bit differently because he's a man. You know, most men, and people don't really understand this or know this, that most men love by provision and protection. And he's the provider and the protector. And he's not just doing it as a duty, although it is a duty for him, but it's a way of him showing love.
I love this. I always say this about fathers. Fathers are protectors.
Yes.
They're in the presence.
Yes.
They're providers.
Yes.
And they promote. Elevate their children.
Yes. And they're supposed to do that. You know what I mean? And discipline. So we
discipline.
They
talked about discipline.
Discipline. I grew up in, of course, I was born in 1973, so 70, 78, 70, 80.
You was getting beat.
Yeah, we're getting our ass kicked. I'm sorry, real talk. We get our ass podcast. My mom and I heard words like, "Well, I stuff a mud hole through you." Something you can't say to kids now. I stuff a mud hole through you. I mean, we grew up the belts, the extension cords, wash machine hose. I mean, yes, it's and it stems from something. Let's be honest, it stems from something generational stuff. Slavery. Yes, slavery. It stems from that, and it's still in certain cultures, and it came all the way down to our cultures. And I think we're getting out of it now, because of how things are. You can't say nothing. You can't holler at a child now.
We are shifting, though. We are shifting. We are shifting the way we parent now.
Yes.
Because the way we were hollering and screaming and all that kind of stuff, at our children, now we're like, wait a minute. Maybe I don't holler at you today. Maybe I try to find out what the problem is. Yeah. Maybe I need to enunciate my word and give clearer instructions. Yeah. Then I won't have to beat you.
Right, exactly. Because back in the day, I beat you because I love you. You know what I mean? Right. So, I went through that phase and stuff like that. Well, I wasn't really abusive, but she was part of that culture.
Yeah.
My dad, I can't remember my dad. When he was there, I think he might have spanked me and my brother like maybe one time. Maybe one time, I think. And that was enough for me. I'm cool with that.
My mother used to threaten me. If something happened in school or something like that, you wait till your father get home. You know what? I may not wait till he get home, but I'm gonna throw you out that window. And we lived on the second floor, and my grandparents lived on the first floor. Yeah, I know she wasn't gonna throw me out the window. I had to get through the screen window, and then I'm gonna hit the ground. I mean, she would never do that, Right. But the thing is, parenting did change. It did shift because of new information. Once we knew better, then we kind of did better. Yeah, type of thing,
Yeah, I agree. So, and it's his voice, and the father's voice. He has a voice. He has a voice. He has a voice that was given to him by nature. So you can respect. You know what I mean? A man's voice doesn't sound like a woman's voice. You know what I mean? For a reason. And it's a purpose for both of those voices. But the father's voice is something that kids tend to, that's why he said, wait till your father come on. You know what I mean? You hear his voice.
I was reminded of his voice.
You hear his voice.
She said, he was
it's his
wait till
voice.
he get home.
Yes.
And when we get home, I was hoping he was tired because my father owned his own trucking business, so he was driving all around the whole 5 boroughs and everything. By the time he came home, I'm like, he's tired. You know, I'm just bubble guts and everything.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah.
So you had a father.
Yes.
And then you had a stepfather.
Yes.
So you pretty good in the fatherhood,
Yes.
being raised type of thing.
Yes.
So now you're 17, 18, 16, 17, 18.
Yes.
When did you get the entrepreneurial bug?
It's funny, and I actually had that early in life, to be honest. I was around, and then my first job was me pretty much cutting hair. I was actually walking around the projects, and a friend of mine got a pair of clippers that his mom had around the way, and I'm talking about, again, I'm like 13 years old.
13 cutting hair.
13 years old, and he would cut the person's hair, and just being around this guy allowed me to become into the barber world. Just from being around this guy, I didn't even think about cutting hair. No, he was thinking about cutting hair, and he would let me do the outline just because I was there. Well, I'm gonna cut his hair.
You sweeping the floor too? You sweeping the floor too?
No, we was cutting at a house. So this barbershop came years later, and he's actually stopped cutting hair. So he cut hair in high school for a little bit, but I don't know if he ever went professional, but I kept it going and went professional. So to answer your question, that entrepreneur spirit of me being able to come from school, pick up some clippers, was injected in me early. You know, just from being around someone who wanted to cut hair. And 13, 14, I got my own little business in my house, outside, in the basement, and whatever I had to cut.
Yes.
So, yeah.
So you had that, and that spawned you to having multiple businesses,
multiple companies.
So rather than someone paying you, you know, exchanging hours for dollars,
Yes,
you actually was paying yourself.
Yes.
Because you was providing a service.
Yes.
So is there any advice that you can give to some of our listeners out there, that possibly young listeners that are 13, 14? I have some mentees. I have a mentee up in this area as well, that he's 13 or 14. I think he want to do some kind of entrepreneur. But you have any advice for brothers like him?
Yes. And how old is he?
14.
I would say this, honestly, when it comes down to entrepreneurship, don't neglect and don't despise doing anything because of your age. I think that we wait too long to get our kids involved in some serious things in life that can actually benefit them. We wait too long to tell them about investing. We wait too long to tell them about insurance. We wait too long to tell them about business. We wait too long to teach them about money. We wait too long. And by the time they get 18, 19, you got other cultures who are teaching their kids to do certain things like cooking at 8 years old. Exactly. You know what I mean? We're going to TikTok now. One thing about TikTok, it releases a lot of truth and a lot of stuff that you just didn't know. Yes. And I can say that once you get past all the dancing, the TikTok dancing, you get past all the dancing, move all the dancing, hey, okay, move all the dancing out the way, and it turns into some educational stuff, and like, what the hell are we doing? Like you know, we the ones dancing, but they're actually, I seen a little kid, 5 years old, cooking breakfast. You know what I mean? I see the kid, I'm talking about gourmet stuff, you know what I mean? Maybe some stuff we might not eat, but he got the seafood, whatever. So the thing I wanted to say is with 13, 14, and to all even the parents, get your kids started early. You know,
despise not small beginnings.
Yes, despise not small beginnings. Get them started early. I started cutting hair at 13 years old. By the time I was 19, I was working in the shop. You know what I mean? By the time I was 22, I owned my first shop. At 22, you know what I mean? 22. And you know what? Honestly, this culture and the way these last couple cultures, we've been doing this. We've been lagging on teaching these kids at a young age to get involved in stuff. Case in point, Martin Luther King was involved in civil rights and all that stuff. Yes. He's 22 years old.
22 years old.
24 years old. So by the time he got 33, my oldest daughter's age, he was Martin Luther King Jr. You know what I mean? He was, and what happened? Well, I don't know where the break come from where we actually let our kids just, I don't know, play games all the way up to 20 or 18,
skate in the basement type
like,
of deal.
Yeah.
To like 30?
Yes. I don't know where that come from. I don't know where that switch happened. But we go back into history. These kids, people was doing stuff at 18, 19, 14. So that's my one thing. Start now. Start now. Young people, start now. I don't care if you want to be an accountant. I don't care if you want to own your own business. I don't care if you want to get into construction, career. Start now. Whatever you want to do. He's 13 getting, my grandson is 5 years old. I already bought him his first set of drums. You like beating on the table? I got him a brand new set of drums, and not the little kid drum. I got the big boy drums because he's gonna be on them for a while. He can grow into them, but he's got to start now.
Wow,
5 years old.
Wow. So what you're actually saying right here? Thank you for sharing that.
Absolutely.
What you're actually saying is I know we talked about the art of mentoring.
Yes.
But what you're saying right now, you're discovering the lost art of fathering.
Yes. Yes.
Because we're fathering you're not just, disciplining and go to school, come back and eat and go to sleep. No,
Right.
how about let me give you some skills that you can have something in life.
Yes.
In my heart, the last 4 days, what's been in my heart is this word established, right?
Right.
And I just hear it, in the theme of what you're saying too. But if the parents, if society, if our kids, if our children see a man,
Yes.
a father that's established,
Yes.
then they will be able to see, you know what, I could be established too,
Yes.
and then establish others.
Yes.
So we first have to be established. So
Yes.
my first mentor that I had, my first business mentor that I had, second one, my second business mentor that I had, he was out in California, and his name was Brian Orn.
Okay.
And what he said was, the most endangered species in the United States is a healed father. A
Wow.
healed father.
Wow.
So we talk about in most of these cities, most of these statistics that I can just read off
Yes.
right here is those are unhealed fathers. Those are broken men.
Yes.
Broken men and broken fathers. But in this country, in the United States, I'm pretty sure other countries, but I'm just talking about the United States, where I live, is it's a most endangered species. So this podcast right here, what we're trying to do, we're trying to promote images. We're trying to promote fathers
Yes.
like you.
Yes.
Like myself.
I love it.
Like all the other men that we're associated with, these men, we're changing the narrative.
Yes.
Because the narrative that we see on the TV is crazy.
Yes. And that's the problem. We
Crazy.
see a lot of that, Kev. We see a lot of people doing the negative stuff and, all the stuff that we see on Instagram. Because each social site is pretty much the same to a certain extent, but some a little worse than others. You know what I mean? They promote certain things. And I see, even like on Instagram, you see a lot of stuff that's not promoting fatherhood or promoting the family, especially the black family.
Right.
I mean, right now, I'm sure a lot of you use the iPhone. Well, they got a family emoji on there. Well, you could turn everything else black. You know that by holding it down in color. But you push on the white family,
Yes.
You can't turn it into a black family. I don't know if y'all know that. Pick your iPhone up.
Wow.
Yes, but all the emojis. You know what I mean? The emoji where you want to raise your hand, all that. It's a white person on there, and you can hold it down and go to what color, your complexion, or the thumbs up. Click on the family. Now, I don't know if they changed it with the new one, but last year, yes, try that. And I'm just saying that just to show you that it's not really promoted for us to have that type of a core structure. You need family. That's how things work. That's how gifts and stuff and talents get out in this world. You know what I mean? Through families,
So we are an endangered species. You
Yes.
talk about families. So the families can be endangered. So our families are endangered. Well, they're not endangered anymore because we're there. So are you married?
Yes.
How long
Yeah.
have you been married?
26 years. 26 years.
This year for me.
I'm going to leave right there. 26 years.
I'll be
Yeah.
27 for me. It'll be 27 for
Wow.
me. This year.
Yeah.
Wow. So we in the game.
Hey, we're here. We're here. Family.
Get in the game. Get in the game.
Yeah, no baby mamas either. I don't got nothing.
Yeah, no,
I'm
no,
cool
no.
with that. I'm cool.
Wow,
I see I heard a lot of stories being behind the barber chair, which I learned a lot of stuff, even about entrepreneurship. I learned a lot about walks of life. I learned a lot about men.
Yes.
I'm a barber. I was a professional barber for 30 years. So I know a lot about
And you
men.
retired.
And I retired. Yes. And I love barbering. I love the feel. I love what it done for me. I probably wouldn't have the businesses that I have if it wasn't for the core base of barbering, the character that it builds,
Yes.
the compassion you have for different walks of life and people, that come into the shop with different stories. And oh my gosh, Kev, it's so many stories. I know everything. I know a lot of stuff.
I know you love.
I know a lot of stuff when it comes out to men and women, but for the most part, the fellas, it's not easy for us. It's not easy.
So since you know a lot of stuff,
Yeah, I know a lot of stuff.
You know a lot of stuff about marriage,
Yes.
women,
Yes.
your girl dad,
Yes, some girls. There are 3 girls and one son. Yeah.
and one son. So how do you balance that being a serial entrepreneur?
Hmm.
If you're a serial entrepreneur, I think you were talking at some point about a classic man.
Yes.
So how do you balance all of that and then keep home?
And let me tell you something. And you used a good word. You're gonna have to balance, and I guess the opposite would be juggle. You can't juggle. You juggling stuff. It's a difference. So I have learned to. I have learned to balance. I have learned to make the main things the main thing.
What's the main thing?
Family, structure, being a father.
System?
It's a system, and it's actually a good system. And having a good system,
Yeah.
because everything needs
Yes.
some type of a system.
Yeah.
And then we talked about that, before the show, which was a great topic about systems. But if the systems is, some type of it's faulty, and then we're gonna have a problem. But it is a system, and I do have to go by a system. Even with that, being a father and realizing that they're gonna need time too. But I will say this: the system of this world and how it's been with this world for the last umpteen thousand years. And I'll tell you what I mean by that. We go to work on Monday morning and get into a traffic jam at 8 in the morning or whatever. Everybody's doing the same thing. Everybody getting off around 4 or 5 back in the traffic jam. Everybody go to lunch around the same time. Everybody gonna have the same, almost the same emotion, because we all, after we eat, food got digested. So everything's the same, and we're on a system. I never wanted to be a part of that system, which made me become an entrepreneur. Number one.
I like that.
Number two, you can go to work for those 5 days, and you get off Friday. You got to squeeze in Friday night for your family. Then Saturday, possibly, everybody's trying to hit to beaches. Everybody's on the same barbershop. You got to do all this. And you can go to a bar. Back in the day, you can spend hours in the barbershop. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? With your son or even by yourself. You can be on washing clothes, whatever you want to do. And then Sunday, where we at, up north, most things are closed. Mm-hmm. Then you're right back to the system again. And I think that somewhere down the line, someone is going to have to speak and change that. We've been doing this so long, and I look at the camera, that has to be changed. Yeah. That has to be something that we're going to have to fix, because you're spending more time on a job and all this stuff and less time with the family. It's unbelievable to me.
I think what you're talking about now is you're segueing into love,
yes,
right? And LOVE. So how do you spell love? I learned in the last 5 to 10 years spelling love with TIME.
Yeah.
So if I spend time with my wife, spend time with my daughter, it can't be balanced all the time, because I have different different responsibilities.
That's true.
And I got different things pulling at me,
yes,
type of thing.
Yes.
So but what helps me is communication.
Yes.
Communication. So I'm like, hey babe, I got to do this tomorrow. I got to do this the next day. I catch up with you. We do a movie, Friday. We do something like that. Just as long as I communicate, it'll kind of serve as a buffer in between the imbalanced days.
Right.
So what do you think about that? Do you have anything in place
yes.
like that? Since we're healed fathers.
It's funny, even in my book in the second chapter, look, shameless plug, mindset, go, there it is. I think the second chapter in the book is called Time Currency, which is actually time money. Time, money. I think whenever we invest something, you expect a return. You invest your money, you invest your business, you expect a good return. One thing about me is I have learned the art of investing time in things that's going to give me a return.
I love this.
So my time is the most important asset. As a matter of fact, it's the most important asset that anyone have is your time, because you can't get that back. You know what I mean? So when you're using your time, you want to make sure that you're investing into something that's going to give you a good return. I invested in my business because I expect a good return. You know what I mean? I invested in my family, of course, which is number one priority, just so I can get return. So and I like what you said, even about love, you're using love, and with me, love is in there, don't get me wrong.
I know.
It was my time.
I can tell.
I use time wisely because I invest time. I use time as money. Time is my money, and money is time. So that's what I use it for.
So
time currency.
Let's go back to the traffic jam.
Yes.
Traffic jam. So you spend maybe, let's say, an hour and a half in traffic.
Yes.
And maybe 3 hours a day in traffic, right?
Right.
So we all spending that time, and then time at work, right?
Yes.
We're spending a lot of time. So we're exchanging all this time that we're not going to get back.
Yes.
And most people that really, they start businesses and they become an entrepreneur because they want more time.
Freedom, yes.
They want freedom of
You
time.
want freedom of time, yes.
But sometimes you can get slunk right back into the habit of working maybe 80 hours.
Yeah.
Working 80 hours entrepreneurship because you haven't learned that skill.
Right.
As an entrepreneur, to give your time, give your family that time, give yourself that freedom.
Yes.
That's why, back there it says the art of mentorship.
That's right.
The art of mentoring. So we need a mentor.
I agree.
I think every man needs a mentor.
I think so too.
I think every pastor
and I have a mentor.
Every pastor needs a pastor.
Oh, good. I think it's right. Yes.
They better.
I heard what he said now.
Every pastor needs a pastor.
Amen.
Every teacher needs a teacher.
Yes.
Every coach needs a coach.
Yes.
I'm getting poured into all the time.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure. So who's pouring into you? You say you have a mentor.
I have mentors.
If you feel comfortable sharing his name or
yeah. I got a couple mentors, but he will not mind me saying it.
Okay.
And he will mind me saying it. He was no type. So Mr. Joel Coppage, man, I would mention his name anytime. Wow. It's like I this guy right here is one of the strongest family man, businessman, calm. He has a peace about him. We're not worrying about, we good there. You know, I could be a little high-headed sometimes, you know what I mean? Sometimes my bucket get full, you know, you're going to get this spill, you know what I mean? But he just never shows that side, and he admires that I'm young and an entrepreneur because he sees himself in me. Wow. But he also tried to make sure that I hit all the pitfalls, you know what I mean? Now, he don't mind me going some of them because he know they're going to be lessons. So he don't mind, but for the most part, Joe Coppage has been there for me. Like, oh my God, it's an amazing man. He is so amazing to me. You know what I mean?
So what do you get from him?
I get him authentic love from him, big brotherness and fatherhood from him. Fatherhood, big brother,
entrepreneurship,
mentor, entrepreneurship, investor, husband. Yeah, and let me tell you something, and I consider myself a good dad, you know what I mean? But he's the Michael Jordan of dads to me.
Wow.
He's the Michael Jordan of dads, man. I'm going to be honest, man. I said, man, you know, one day when I die, I go to heaven, I'm going to say, y'all got this man down here named Joe Coppage. You know, because I know you'll be in heaven. That's how I feel, but he's a good dude. He's a great dude. I had a 50th birthday party last year, and he spoke at the 50th birthday party. First, number one. Gotta let him speak first. And he was just amazing.
Wow.
So Mr. Joe Coppage, shout out to him. Shout out to Mr. Joe Coppage, my guy, man, my guy.
Wow.
So yeah.
This is awesome about the mentorship piece, family piece, all the facets. So we have so many facets of us as men.
Yes.
So when we're talking about, you know, reforming the image of fatherhood and reforming the image of manhood, you know, there's a lot of facets to us.
Yes.
A lot of times, you know, we talk about the healed, or the bruised, or the broken man.
Yes.
Go out and get a job. Well, it's more than that. It's more than him. Get a job. There's still certain facets of him.
Yes.
You know, and I know I mentioned earlier about the classic man. You know, what's the classic man? What does it mean to you?
Classic man, I like, and it's an art that's honestly being lost, and you know, to each his own. But it's certain things that I know that a classic man has to have. He has to be classy, number one. I like classy. I like things that are more mature, grown up. You know what I mean? And let me tell y'all something. This is Derrick Reed talking to be straight up and honest. I am cool with the suits sometimes, with the sneaks, but for me, and that's just in dress. Throw that shoe on, bro. You know what I mean? Throw the shoe on. You know what I mean? And I don't even know if the ladies are all the way in. They probably just let us do our thing. Yeah. But for the most part, you know, I think real ladies, they want you to see you in a nice suit, tailor-made suit with a nice shoe on. You know what I mean? They done brought these sneakers in here. Listen, man, take the sneakers out, put a nice little shoe on. And that's where I'm at. I'm throwing a nice little watch on. I like classy, going to classy events, you know what I mean? Or having classy meetings with important people. I think men need a meeting of the minds maybe once a month where they can come around the table and talk about stuff, whether it's husbands or our future husbands or whatever. And let's just build each other up and talk to each other and see what you're doing, hold each other accountable. I think men can do that because, you know, I think men really, you know, we hear stuff like bro code. We do got a bro code. Yeah, shout out to ladies. Shout out to ladies too, but I don't think y'all got a bro code. Like, y'all ain't got no sister code like we got a bro code. We do got a bro code. It's just some stuff we don't speak about. We just know. Yeah. You know, am I right though?
Yeah,
it's just something we just know. You're right. And brothers got bro code.
Bro code. That's something back in the day before Christ and before my wife and everything. There was a time that when you hanging out with certain dudes and you was going to do certain things, you don't bring your girls or nothing like that. You don't bring your wife to those type of events because we're classic men. We're classic men. You want to keep that kind of protected. You want to keep that protected and covered and keep that provided. You don't bring them in, you don't bring your wife in an area where there's a whole bunch of sharks. Yeah, we don't do that. Classic man mentality. Classic man. So tell me about this book, Mindset Go. So I'm like this mindset go. Mindset go. Tell me about it.
Mindset Go. It's funny. I was going to call the book something else at one time, and I can't remember right off my Ralph hand where it came from. But the first chapter of the book was called Mindset Go, and one of my friends said, "Yeah, man, how you doing on that Mindset Go?" And I used to get mad at it. It's not called Mindset Go. It's called, and I would give him whatever the title was, but it stuck with him. So when it stuck with him, it stuck with me. I said, you know what? He keeps saying that. Let's make it so. The title, and I said, you know what? I'm gonna call the book Mindset Go since you called that. So Mindset Go. Everything starts with the mind. Okay. You know, and the fact that, you know, the reason why I call it Mindset Go because, you know, if you're doing a race or, you know, there's always someone saying ready, set, go. Yes. So I want to take out ready and put mindset go. Mindset. So it's like saying ready, set, go, but really mindset go. Mindset go. Because it starts with your mind. Mindset. So what type of mindset do you need to have? Very good.
What kind of mindset do you need to have to be not just a classic man,
right?
But even just play along with me with reforming the image of fatherhood. So, what type of mindset does a man need to have to be a good father?
Wow, I think a very conscious and spiritual mindset. I think very deeply in that. This is something new I'll probably end up releasing soon. I got a problem with people using the word brain. Like I got a brain in my head. It's really like a computer, to be honest. And if you say that, you don't feel connected to it. You feel like it's something that I use when I need it. You don't feel that you are your computer or your laptop, right? It's something you use to type in or do something or help you think or help you do some stuff.
Right.
You know what I mean? But if you call it your brain, you're like, oh, that's who I am. And a lot of people got a lot of stuff going on in their mind that it's not who you are. That's just your mind.
But you have to upgrade it sometimes.
Yeah, you got to upgrade it sometimes.
Upgrade the technology.
Have to upgrade it. You have to upgrade it, meaning that you are not your mind. If you have to do something to it, you know what I mean. So,
the spiritual part, God is not going to do it either, right? So you have to do it.
Now we get to the spiritual part, which is the more of a spiritual connection. You know what I mean? And I think we all do have a system in our head or our mind that has to be changed to a more higher level or higher thinking, which is a conscious mind, would be the mind of God. You know what I mean? In my opinion, you know, you have to kind of change your mind to be more spiritually conscious, and you realize that you're not your mind. You have to realize you're not your mind, you know what I mean, or your emotions. And a lot of people get tied up in it. A lot of times you think you're dealing with people, you're not really dealing with them. You're dealing with their mentality. You know what I mean? And when you start to learn that, it'll help you be more patient on certain things too. Like, you know, they just haven't found themselves yet or know who they are. They think they're their mind. It's a lot of people that's doing a lot of stuff in these streets right now. Because they're following after a mind.
Yeah, they don't have their right identity.
Right. You put your mind in the steering wheel, it's going to put you in the back. It'll put you on the passenger side, but after a while, you really it's going to put you in the back seat.
Exactly. And
it's going to take you where it wants you to go. And that's why you can't let your mind lead all the time or your emotions lead all the time. You have to get under that steering wheel. And you got to use your mind and take it where you want to go.
What if you don't have the capacity?
Oof.
What if you don't have the capacity? You know, I don't mean to throw it at
you.
No,
you're good.
But what if you don't have the capacity to know that you have the wrong mindset? I know we could throw this out there, get yourself a coach or get yourself a counselor, but what is it? What do you think?
Well, it has to start with you being at least in a position to know that you need help. You know what I mean?
Could you tell my audience that, please?
You have to be in a position where you realize and know you need help first. Okay. That's the beginning. That's the starting point. If you can get past that part and know I need some help, or I know I can't do it on myself, and I know I got something that's
70% of the issue right there.
You have to realize and be honest with yourself. Say, hey, I got an issue. I got some stuff going on. You know what I mean? Right now, you got mental health is really huge right now. Right. And it's a lot of mental health situations going on in this world because why people are thinking that they are their computer or their mind. Right. They're thinking that, you know what I mean? But that's not who you are. You know what I mean?
You know, I was going to ask you earlier about self-care. You talk about classic. We talk about classic man. My mind went right back to self-care. My wife does a self-care thing. She has a business for that. But I think you need mental health before you can even, get your feet done, get facials and stuff like that.
Yes.
Make sure your mind is right. And I think everybody should pick up this book. And it's going to be in my link. It's going to be in the link as well.
Awesome.
But Mindset Go.
Yes.
Actually, I want to be able to put this in my bag. Before we leave.
I appreciate that. And I'll sign it for you. Make sure you get it signed. But I think it's better to know yourself. You know what I mean? You have to know yourself, right?
Yeah,
and then, because if you know better, you grow better. I tell people it all the time.
Right.
So, and I wrote that book because I really wanted people to look at themselves and know who they are. You know what I mean? I talk about believing a lot, which I think believing is great. It's a good starting point. But I think you have to elevate even beyond believing and start knowing. So that's where I'm at. I think you have to elevate.
Knowing.
And believing is fine. You want to believe something like that. I got my little beliefs about believing. This means to accept things as being true. But I think it's better to have knowledge to know things. You know what I mean? And you can know.
Knowledge to know. Now, this is something that I was taught years ago about the word know, like knowing.
All right.
Knowing, you probably know where I'm going, right?
Good do you.
So Adam knew Eve, right?
Uh-huh.
Adam knew Eve, and then what came out of that came, right?
Right.
A baby came. So that was intimacy. So you have to know yourself in an intimate way.
Yes.
Knowing. Yes. So you have to know yourself. You have to know your family.
Right.
Fathers need to know their families. You have to be there. You have to be present to know. Yes. You have to know, not think, not guess. Type of thing. I guess, and then you have to know, not believe. It's more than believing.
Yes.
Like I could believe in God, I could believe in my wife, but I have to know.
Yes.
I have to know.
I
I have
agree.
to know about the business. I have to know about, the different streams of income.
Correct.
I have to know that. I have to know how to invest.
Yes.
Not believe.
It's not believe. It's not accepted as being true. You're going to know it. You're going to know it because you're going to gain knowledge about it. You're going to see that it's going to show evidence of proof. You know what I mean? A lot of times, again, we'll say, I think who you are, your core, and I'm going to be honest, when you're on the right track of knowing who you are, this is when you start using words like, I had a gut feeling. Something told me. That's when because one thing I learned about that something told me and that gut feeling, it always leads you into knowledge and truth. It will never, ever connect to emotional. It will never even connect to your mind. It connects to itself, to who you are. And that's why, and it takes practice because you'll stop saying something told me when you start acting on it more. You got to start trusting yourself or who you are, and that's connected to that spiritual realm. You know what I mean? You got to pay attention to that, and you have to build that voice up because usually sometimes it's too late when you realize something that already happened. You say, well, something told me. It's too late now.
Too late. Because
what happened is you done ignored this voice so long for so many years, it's just really quiet to you. But when you start paying attention to who you're exercising, that voice become loud. And you'll do stuff and people won't understand why you're doing it. But you understand. People don't understand. I just feel that. And sometimes, a lot of times, wives got it real strong. Especially when it comes to their husband. They got a gift.
That sixth sense.
See, I told you to go through here. I told you that. And you're like, we know us. We got the ego sometimes. And I give a shout out to wives because they had a certain gift. You know what people around you and stuff. And I had a pastor years ago, Pastor Ias. He was from Africa. It's funny, Pastor Ias. And he said, man, if I got a problem with somebody or I'm not sure about that person, I bring them around my way. I said, why? He said, because they got a gift. They're going to know. Oh, he ain't for you. And they like cut and dry. Oh, he ain't for you. Oh, he ain't got your back. Oh, he ain't, nah. They know. And it hurts us because we don't want to let my man go. It's a cool dude. We give guys passes all the time.
Let me lob a ball to you.
Go ahead.
So this is like a leadership quality right here, leadership skill, most men, right?
Yes.
So most men are leaders, right?
Yes.
Fatherhood is leadership qualities, right?
I think
knowing fatherhood, right, is a leadership quality. So if you have an idea, if you have a strategy, if you have a vision for the home, you have a vision, you gotta be home to have a vision for the home, right? Yes. So a vision for the home, and then once you have a vision for the home, you're like, I think we should go this way because you heard something in your gut. You heard God in you. You heard God in you. You heard God tell you that this is the way you should go. That'll be beneficial for your family, right? Yes. So now you're gonna turn around and ask the people that you leading. You think we should go that way? Oh no, because he told you.
Yeah, exactly.
He told you.
So
I think we need to build the confidence of the man to be healed.
Yes.
The healed man, build his confidence. You heard something right. And if you don't get the results that you want, just keep trucking.
Yes.
You're blazing the trail. You're a trailblazer.
You have to trust it. You have to trust your gut. For what you're saying. You have to trust your gut feeling. You got to know that that's what God communicate through us, who we are, not this flesh. Yeah. Not that emotional stuff. No. People say all the time, half can they always say, you don't act on your emotions. You know what I mean? You don't, you're right. You don't want to do, you don't want to do that. You don't want to act on your emotions or your feelings and stuff like that. I just realized that, and this is one of the things I probably say, I said, I'm going to say something during the show that probably nobody really heard. I think the world has a problem with adding emotions to truth. We need to stop adding emotions to the word truth and truth. If it's truth, it's just truth. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because you could tell me some true stuff that can hurt my feelings. That because I allow feelings to come into. Right. Feelings ain't got nothing to do with truth. Right. I'm telling you the truth.
But it should be a tone to the way you communicate, right? Yeah. Because I can't share truth howling and screaming because first of all they're gonna. I can't hear you. I can't hear you right now. But if it's truth, there should be an art form in communicating.
To a certain extent. So I was in 6th grade. It's funny you said that. And I never forget this. I was in 6th grade. I was at George Reed Junior High School. And we was an English teacher. And I can't remember her name, but I can see her face. She said, listen, you have to learn in class. This is going to help you in life. Listen to what is said and not how it's said.
I like that.
She said, listen to what is said and not how it's said. One of the hardest things to do is to listen to what is said, not how it's said.
I know.
If you can lock down that number one thing, it would take you even further. Because I don't like the way they said it. No, but what did they say? Because sometimes we do that to mask us receiving the truth.
These are gems here.
Then we can people, and this is what this world is about now. Because they could have came up. It don't matter. Did they tell you the truth or not?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
You know, right now, somebody told me, like, yo, you need a piece of gummy in my whatever. Okay, maybe.
Yeah, because sometimes they can tell you the truth in a nice way, and you still won't hear it because they're coming against your ego, your attitude, they criticize it.
You need defense. And you need a defense. Exactly. So I need to come back at you for how you said something and disregard that what you said to me was truth.
Yes.
And the problem with this world today, one of my opinions, and I don't give a lot of opinions, but we want to add emotions to truth, and it's a sense of maturity that we're not at yet. And I am trying my best to get there. Number one, I'm already past to listening to how it's said, listen to what is said, opposed to how it's said. Because you could be with your wife and you could be at a counter or something. I don't like how she said that. No, it's cool. I need my fries, sis. I need that.
Wait until I get the fry. Wait until I get the fry, because you want issues while they back there making it.
Right.
Make the fry.
And I'm trying to score. I got to get into the touchdown. You know what I mean? Because to get into the touchdown, you're going to get people to try to face smash you.
Get in the game.
I'm in the game. All I care is about the touchdown. That's it. And no shot at women again. This is men talk. We fathers, right?
This men talk, fathers. That's what families need.
This is what we need.
Families need men.
We need men.
Families need men.
Yes. So
families need men.
Need men.
Because they need this persona. They need this image. They need this bravado.
Yes, you know? and we do that all the time. And I wanted, and it's crazy. I wanted to speak that on your show. And something that I feel deeply about is that we have to get emotions out of truth, because we got somewhere to go, and we ain't got time for you to hide behind this how you feel what someone said when they speaking the truth. Now, if they're lying, let's add feelings to that, because that's not truth.
Right.
It's falsehood or you made up and stuff. Let's add some emotions to that. But we're not going to add emotions to truth.
Because sometimes you can add emotions, and you can be all over the place, feelings hurt and everything.
Right.
And that could actually be an obstacle for you having another stream of income.
Yes.
You're talking, because we're coming against, we're working and we have different streams of income and we have different personalities that we deal with. Your personality, your feelings got hurt. Right. But if you say what you want to say, what's on your heart to say, that's going to stop that flow.
I agree. And you'll hide behind that. You have to be able to receive that. And I mean, again,
get your emotions off, especially when it comes to establishing yourself.
Well, you ever have a situation when you was young, and I had a bunch of brothers and sisters, and you got to tell your mom, just say they took my bag of marbles, and I know they mine. Who took them? Boom, boom, boom. You go there. Where's his marbles at? And your other little brother hiding the marbles or hiding the game, whatever it is, he hiding them. And said, "What you doing with it? Give it to him. Here, take it then." I don't want it now because of how you said it. It made me feel something. No. Take it. The touchdown is, I don't care how he said it. I need my marble. And I'm going, meanwhile, he's mad. I got what I want. But we got truth. The truth, they belong to me. So I don't care how he act. The feelings he gave me, take them then. Well, okay. Cool. I got him. Touchdown.
I love this. So
that's where I'm at with it. That's my life.
So everything that you shared with me, about these are leadership. These are leadership gems, right?
Yes.
So you had to become that man. I'm gonna say this.
Yes.
So you had to step into this role as a healed man.
Yes.
As a healed father, right? In order to do his image. Talk to me about his image.
His image. It's funny. Everything I do when it comes down to the community or our culture, I want to better our culture. I think we deserve better. I think we've been behind the 8 ball too long. I think our culture is beautiful. I think our culture has a lot of potential. It's a lot of stuff out here that's as knocking our culture, against our culture. And I wanted us to be known for great things, such as business and stuff like that. I always wanted us to be known for having good company. So my first barbershop was called His Image. You know what I mean? And I got the word. It's funny, we talk about the Bible, Christ, and I got out the Bible, His image. Genesis 1:27.
Yes.
Created His image and after His likeness. I wanted to make sure that people are reminded of who we are, creating God's image and after His likeness. So every time back in the day when I opened my shop, we had the landlines. I gotta say His image. I wear His image shirts. I wear His image shirt today. Everybody go crazy all across the world. I've been in Africa with His image shirt. My foundation is called His Image Foundation.
Talked about that
in Africa.
Africa.
It's funny. I'm going back to Africa. I traveled to Africa last year. I went over to Senegal and then I traveled to Gambia. Motherland, right?
Yes.
So I shot over there real quick and I met some great people. Just people that's humble, of course. You know what I mean. Don't have a lot of means, but I met some people that had bigger hearts than the lions over there. And I actually got to walk with the lions. It's on my page. And they said, listen, we in need of certain things, you know, necessities we just don't have, whether it's personal stuff with the females, whether it's food, whatever it is. And I said, you know, I got a foundation. I don't know if I have my shirt on by his image. I said, we need that foundation. Let me help you guys out. So a guy I adopted as like my nephew. You know what I mean? I call him my nephew named Bakari. So shout out to Bakari. Bakari, what's up? He's over in Gambia. And I actually...
I'll make sure he get this.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that'd be dope. Yeah. Okay. So he'd love that. Probably text me now. He texts me all the time.
Okay.
And I said, I want to do something to help you guys out. And I'll be back in the Gambia in November. So if you want to go with me, anybody want to go with me, come check it out. I'm putting together a Zoom. I'm going on to Gambia. One of the greatest experiences you ever have. If you've never been to the motherland, get over to Africa, black people. Yeah. So I actually have the foundation or whatever because I felt connected to them.
So what is the foundation doing?
The foundation is providing food, number one, is books and stuff for schools, personal stuff for the young females. A lot of stuff that we take for granted over here, they don't have that over there like that in certain parts, so the tribes.
Can we support you?
Yes.
Is there a way we can support you?
Yes.
Can you tell the readers how to support you, email address or website?
Yes. You can actually hit me right up on Instagram or even, matter of fact, even Facebook. You hit me up on Facebook at DerrickDReed.com or matter of fact, DerrickDReed.com or just hit me up on Facebook, Derrick D. Reed. Go ahead, DM me. Let me know if you want to go to Africa or you want to, see how you can help us with our mission over there and our journey over there. And it's legit. You know what I mean? To be honest, we can send money over to them. I mean, it don't even cost that much, So their money, our money translate to their money is something on another level. And I'll be back over in Gambia in November. I think November 15th I'll be over in Gambia. Wow. So you're more than welcome to come with me if you want to come.
Renaissance man.
Yes.
Thank you for this time.
My pleasure.
Oh my God. I can do this all night.
Yeah, we can do another part two.
We have to do part two.
Let's do it.
Let's do part two.
I appreciate you, Kevin. I really thank you so much, man.
Oh man, thank you. Thank you for the book too.
Absolutely.
Thank you for the book.
I'm gonna sign that thing too.
Mindset Go. Yeah, you're gonna sign this Mindset Go. Can you get this book on your website as well?
Yes, you can get my book on DerrickDreed.com or go to Amazon. It's on Amazon. It's on Kindle, and it's actually an audio book for those a lot of people don't read now, Kev, for some reason. But guess what? I got you on the audio, and I am doing the reading. So go ahead on Audible and Kindle and all that, and you can hear it, read it, or get it digitally. Mindset Go. You're bigger than you know.
My man of God.
My guy. My pleasure. Thank you so much, Kev.
Thank you.
Appreciate you. Absolutely.
I'd like to thank Mr. D. Reed for gracing us with his presence and with wisdom and his jewels. He's actually a man that actually is reforming the image, and also he's changing the narrative of fatherhood in the world, not just the community, not just Delaware, not just the East Coast, but also in Africa. So I want to leave you with these parting words right here. Despite popular beliefs, the Center for Disease Control states that 70% of black fathers are most involved and likely to have bathed, dressed, diapered, or helped their children use the toilet every day, compared to 60% of white fathers and 45% of Hispanic fathers in the United States. So it is up to us to change the narrative by acknowledging and celebrating our fathers and knowing who we are. Thank you. Kevin Kelley, the Father's Coach.